Hi, I'm Eric Dewey from the Socially Awkward Studios, Science and Beer, and Her Majesty's Secret Podcast, and you're listening to another proud presentation of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Check out more shows at foureyedradio.com.
It's your good pal, Steve-O from the 4-Eye Radio Network. I'm here to talk to you about a wonderful designer we all know, Revenge Lover. Illustrates and designs that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, please visit revengelover.com. And just do yourself a favor and tell him Steve-O sent you. I know it really doesn't count for anything, but, I mean, come on. Who are you gonna trust? You gonna trust somebody else? No, you're gonna trust me, Steve-O. Because, face it, I'm awesome.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of Appropriately Inappropriate. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you had a nice week, and hope you enjoyed last week's episode. Let's see, first off, right off the bat, you can follow me on everything social media at I am Kevin Elliott. You can follow Nancy on Instagram at ngarrigus. Let's see, anything new? Not a ton. Nancy's not here today. She will not be in this episode, so I'm sorry, all the Nancy fans. She has the biggest family in the world. I'm convinced now. She has I've known her for 30 years. And there's still siblings I'm finding about her, right now. She apparently has an older brother who I think is getting married today. Her younger brother got married yesterday, all this crazy stuff. So I don't know what's going on, man. We'll ask her next week when she gets back. But this week, filling in for her is a good friend of mine. He's been on the show before. I think he's actually co-hosted with me, too. So Michael Turner will be in here. He's going to be co-hosting with me. And then our guests this week are Bill Laskowski and Chris Gillespie. We will get into some comedy stuff with them. We'll have a good time. I know both of them have some stuff going on in their lives, so we'll talk about that. And then we'll get into bits from their act as we do every week. And kind of break it down and just have a good time, man. So, first of all, thank you guys for listening. Second of all, keep listening. We hope you enjoy this episode. Third of all, please, have a good week. Have every day be good. It's so weird. Okay, guys, thanks for listening and enjoy the episode.
Appropriately inappropriate. 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 Appropriately inappropriate.
Dead for this fucking shit. I was sitting there for 15 minutes and then nobody was dead. It wasn't even a car wreck. I don't know what was happening.
I never understand traffic on freeways.
I don't usually
how does it start? How does the one person that's merging just stop their car
I don't know
and create all the traffic?
It drives me insane.
Yeah.
You go by something and
Talk into your mic.
Can you not hear it? Is it better now?
No.
Is it better now? Better now.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're too relaxed.
I am too relaxed. I'm always too relaxed.
Well, you just got surgery, man. Are you piped up on?
Yeah, I got some Vicodin in me right now.
Yeah.
Got a little hydrocodone in me.
What happened?
Originally, I tore it partially.
Tore what? Listeners
my
don't know what we're talking
ACL.
about.
I tore my ACL, and then eventually the meniscus tore as well. Your meniscus is kind of a backup for your ACL. So I partially tore it originally wrestling with a dude who's a jiu-jitsu tournament or something like that.
Super straight, just like heterosexual.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yep.
For sure, dude.
Make
That's
eye
cool.
contact.
Just wrestling with a dude.
Yep. Check his oil a little bit.
Cool. It's not gay unless your balls touch and you smile.
Exactly.
I'm so gay.
Balls on my balls.
The double T bag. And then I got hit by a car in November.
While you were wrestling with the dude?
No, I was.
He was wrestling the car.
Were you wrestling in the car?
I was wrestling the car.
Yeah.
So you wrestled a car.
Yep.
And then a dude rolled up.
I got fucking lost.
It was just a Geo Metro though. So.
No, I was riding my bike home from work, and I was working as a kids wrestling coach, and just got smacked by a car.
You're wrestling little kids?
Yep.
This is getting twisted.
Yeah, we're learning a lot about you, Bill.
Is this just a metaphor for how much you hate Priuses?
Yes. That is definitely what it is.
Yeah.
But, so the guy hit and run, leaves me on the side of the road, and there's like a shit ton of people. This is on Warner and Dobson in Chandler. So just pretty populated area. A shit ton of people are watching me. Some little old lady is across the street, and like I see her getting on her cell phone, like, no fucking cops, and just scream across the street. And she goes, we're just trying to help you. And I'm like hobbling away with 6 ounces of weed in my bag.
You screaming at an old lady?
Yeah,
I'm
screaming at an old lady not to call the cops. So I'm hobbling away. ACL is completely torn. Meniscus is completely torn. Go home, drop the weed off, go back to work.
Scale of 1 to 10 on the pain.
When it happened, I moved my leg pretty freely right away and just kept range of motion up and didn't let it swell up too bad. So about a 6. And then after surgery, like full on, like 10, like worst pain ever. Like makes you want to throw up.
What kind of drugs did they give you?
Gave me morphines right away.
Good.
Get out of the hospital. And
Pills are good.
I couldn't even fuck with those. Like they were too strong. And then they gave me a bunch of like the big ass Vicodins, like 10 325s.
Horse pills.
Yeah.
Now, when were you wrestling the kid?
I worked at this jiu-jitsu gym that had a kids program. So there's a kids jiu-jitsu program, kids wrestling program. So
Yeah.
that was like October through December. Had a problem with the general manager of the gym and got into it with him and told him to go fuck himself.
So that had nothing to do with the knee injury.
No, nothing at all. Like it just would exacerbate it every time I did it. But
I see. You just like talking about wrestling dudes.
well, no, originally
I get it.
Originally in college and in doing submission grappling and jiu-jitsu, that's originally when I partially tore my ACL.
It was always okay. I got
Yeah, it was originally partially tore.
For a while.
Yeah, like 3-4
man.
years.
All right. Well, that sucks. Before we keep going, introduce yourselves. Shout out any promotion stuff you want to do, social media, the whole nine.
Bill Laskowski. Follow me on Twitter at Bill Laskowski. Instagram, Angry Hobbit. Facebook, Bill Laskowski.
Instagram gets a little weird though.
Yeah, Instagram gets a little fucking strange.
You snuck that in the middle there.
I told you we build shit sandwiches, Turner. That's all we do.
Chris Gillespie. You can follow me on. Just follow me. I don't know. That's it. That's all I got for that.
Physically? Like Jesus?
Physically, follow me.
You want disciples and shit?
Yeah, that's kind of dope, dude. I like that approach, dude. That's very cutting edge, dude. Oh, me? Oh, I'm Michael Turner. Follow me. I do a podcast on the Fern Radio Network as well, The Brothers Turner, every Thursday. You can also follow me on Twitter at MJTurner513. Instagram is the same. Facebook as well.
Is it John?
My brother John and I do the podcast on Thursdays, yeah.
What's your middle name?
My name is Michael James Turner.
James.
It's a beautiful thing that you do a
Now-
podcast with your brother. Like,
It really is.
Like, I'm very jealous of that.
Oh, sure. Do you have
It's
a
a great
brother?
part.
I have a younger brother, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Are you guys close?
Yeah, very much so.
That's good.
Like, he's a crazy little maniac just like me, so.
Yeah. It's important.
Yeah, cut from the same cloth, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, my
Well, we
brother
weren't
is of
cut
the
from
cloth.
any cloth. We were uncut.
You have a brother. Turn's got a brother.
Anteater in the building.
Yeah, right. Actually, I should reiterate, I was circumcised. But I was from the tough streets of the suburbs of Cincinnati.
Yes. So all of you have brothers.
You got a brother?
Yeah, he's really religious and 8 years younger than me, so we're not very close. But he's bigger than me also.
Interesting. Bigger and
But he still
more
thinks I'm
religious.
stronger. Yeah.
How old is this guy?
He's 19 now.
I'll give him 3 years. He'll lose God.
Maybe. I mean, he lives in the South. He lives in Mississippi, dude. That's not the thing that gets lost very easy.
Yeah.
It took me getting out of the South to really lose that whole
Well,
shit.
he's got to lose his virginity sometime, too.
Chris
I
lost
think he
his-
already did, dude.
Chris lost
I think
religion
he's
and
got.
found
He's had this
cocaine
girlfriend for the
in
past like
Scottsdale,
5 years
Arizona.
in high school.
Back up a little bit from you, Mike.
Oh,
Just a little.
Hot
You're
mic.
good.
Hot mic.
Yeah, you're good.
he had a girlfriend. Like last time I went home, and I've always known him as like this religious kid, and he definitely snuck this girl into his bedroom, and I was in my sister's bedroom because I had 2 beds. in
Whoa,
there.
whoa, whoa! Can't just gloss over that.
Well, he is from the South.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesus Christ! Of course, Jangus. All right, no, but he's like totally snuck her in, and he like I opened the door because You know, like their bedrooms are really close.
And you're curious.
And I saw him like I called him red-handed, and I just went. He thought like,
Wait,
oh
she
my
was
God,
on the
I just
rag?
think I'm
You
gonna
caught him
go tell
red-handed?
him, and I'm like, bah. Just give him one of these little looks, like Then he went, and I don't know if they were cuddling or I'm sure they had to have done it.
I love that is the assumption though. But most men are like,
Yeah.
well, they had to be banging. I mean, they could have honestly just had a really long conversation about
I
what
mean, yeah.
Jesus means to them.
That's
Maybe.
true.
I mean, maybe they-
literally.
I think
Yeah.
Jesus might have been in the bedroom that
Jesus and heavy petting.
night.
Yeah.
What, man, you grew up in Mississippi?
Yeah.
For how long? Were you born and raised there pretty much?
I was born in Alabama and kind of went back and forth between the two states.
What's it like growing up out there?
I mean, religion is a really big thing. I was Baptist growing up.
How many of your family members are related, like through blood and marriage at the same time?
Damn it. Of course, it's going to get a
It's
theme.
Bill, dude. He's
This is going to get brought
Bill's
up.
a legit question for
Have you ever visited the South?
I've been through the South many a time.
What part?
Georgia, a lot in like West Virginia.
Okay, like Atlanta.
Don't you
or
think
like
that's a little
Macon
bit more-
County?
No, like
Macon
fucking
County or something?
like we were up in Clayton, Georgia,
bayou.
where
I like how you
deliverance.
Clayton, Georgia.
Clayton, Georgia, where
When you don't know
Deliverance
what
was
town you're
fucking
in
filmed.
Georgia, think of the whitest name you can think of, and then just say that's a town.
Yeah.
I'm out here in Preston, Georgia.
This is the area that Deliverance was filmed.
I'm out here in
It sounds like
You
it
ever been to
sounds-
Stewart, South Carolina?
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Elliott, Mississippi.
That's too Jewy. They wouldn't have that.
Oh, I love it. That's true, dude. Very true,
I'm
yeah.
out there in Howard, Alabama.
I think that might be
That's
a place.
great.
I think
I'm
that
telling
might
you,
be-
this is why I say it.
Yeah.
Camden, New Jersey is definitely.
That's not South.
I know, but I'm just saying.
South
like,
Jersey.
Yeah, all right. So, what was that? What was that like for you growing up out there? Obviously, religious Bible Belt.
Well, actually, I was. You know what moved me from Mississippi to Alabama was Katrina. Like I was on the Gulf Coast, and that people don't talk about it much, but we got it worse than New Orleans. People just like the media hyping on. Like, dude, the entire city of
Because New
Waveland
Orleans was a
destroyed.
bigger
Yeah,
city,
it's a bigger
right?
city,
Yeah,
but like Waveland, Mississippi, like not even on the map anymore.
Just wiped
Yeah.
out.
Wiped out. Some of the islands got destroyed completely. So like, right? It's funny when I
God
go back.
had nothing to do with that, right?
I mean, it was. I think it was Satan at that point. He was just tired of all the bullshit, like the not rep that he was getting.
I mean, he had everything to do with everything else in your life.
Yeah.
But
I
Katrina,
think that probably was
Katrina.
The, that was
No,
definitely
that was the
a
devil.
seed of
was the
consent for me to not like believe anymore. You know, like pretty much God came and raped my hometown. And it's funny going back because when I was growing up on Beach Boulevard in South Mississippi, you used to have all these like family oriented stuff like putt-putt golf and like Slippery Sam's, like this wet slide or like a slide park that we used to have. And now the hurricane wiped all that shit out. And now they're just trying to build up condos and make it look like a Florida resort town. And like,
Yeah.
it's like everybody, you go back and everybody's just like angry all the time because a lot of people, the people that were rich are now poor, and the people that were poor somehow profited off of it. And so like it flipped around, So
Interesting. Do you like going back there?
I mean,
You just
there's
went back not too long ago.
Yeah, I go back every year, and I'm going back again because there's one bar that I headline at. They like to like promote me out there.
what town is it? Biloxi?
Biloxi, yeah.
Biloxi.
Ocean
That's where Ole
Springs.
Miss is.
No, that's
That is
Hattiesburg.
not.
That's what I meant. You didn't let me finish.
That's like 2 hours north.
I like that you said that so confidently, though.
you didn't let me finish.
No
I was,
fucking
I was-
idea.
I think they might have like
That's
a small
Ole Miss
campus
right
in
there.
Biloxi. Yeah.
Fuck you.
I think USM has like a small campus in the mall in Biloxi, but
Well, something's going on in Biloxi.
What
you're
college
right.
is in Biloxi?
Wait, they have a
I think I'm
campus
right.
in the mall.
yeah,
I
it's,
just want you to go back to there's a college campus in the mall.
when I was
So
a kid,
finally
there was
they're
the Edgewater Mall.
they're fucking like doing it the right way and just doing what they really mean in college. And it's just you're
It's right
going in
next-
and buying something that's fucking worthless.
It's right next
That's
to
what
the
you're
Build-A-Bear,
really
so as far as I remember. That's South.
Build-A-Bear
That's-
workshop. Then get
I lost the
your
accent.
GED.
Do you guys hear an accent in me at all? Like I think I
No,
lost
I've
it.
never
No, you
heard
don't
an
have an
accent.
accent.
Yeah, I think I lost it over the years.
Yeah.
I fucking hate my accent.
Well, you're North Dakota.
Yeah, it comes
What
out.
accent is that?
I don't know. It's like
Is it a wannabe Minnesota accent?
Kinda,
Yeah?
yeah. And it's like
You
it's
want it to
like
be from
yeah,
Fargo?
you betcha, and Fargo, and don't you know, and shit like that. And it just it's like the Michael Quaid of accents. It's just fucking worthless.
Who's
the
Michael
hell is that?
Quaid?
Exactly.
All right.
It's a bland person.
And
I
that
usually
was
know
weird.
everything, but I don't know that one.
Michael Quaid played the dad in like Day After Tomorrow.
Jesus
I
Christ.
don't know,
Are you
man. That's a
seriously coming at
nice
us
reference.
with that? Day After Tomorrow. You're talking about Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
Boom!
What did I say? What did I
Michael
say?
Quaid.
Michael
I'm sorry.
Quaid.
I'm sorry. I told you. I already prefaced, like, this podcast is brought to you by Vicodin.
He was
So.
right up
Yeah.
there.
I think
Johnny
it makes you
Cage.
lazy. It doesn't mean you mix up or add Quaid brothers. There's Randy and Dennis, dude.
Let
Lock it
them
up.
know that Mike is part of the family.
Also,
Douglas
dude,
Quaid,
I'd like
actually.
to bring up the fact that Jake Gyllenhaal was also in that film.
Oh, all right.
True that.
Okay.
True that.
Really kind of started coming into his own.
Yep.
Dude, I saw a movie with him in it pretty recently that was pretty good called Nightcrawler.
We were
Dude, that's a
just
good movie.
talking about
It's a great
that.
He's
movie.
creepy in that movie.
It's
dude.
a really
Great
good movie, though.
movie. I thought it was one of the best movies of last year, and there was a lot of good
I
films
thought
last
I
year.
think it's one of the best Jake Gyllenhaal movies for sure.
I would agree with that as well.
Okay.
Jake Gyllenhaal literally digresses into. Have you seen? And it's unfair to compare really any movie to this, but are you guys familiar with Taxi Driver?
Yeah.
No.
The digression into
Into madness almost.
yeah, a little bit, pretty much like that.
Yeah.
Except he starts crazy, and then he figures out how to make his
Be
crazy
good
work
at being
for him.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
make
a
money
beautiful
off
film.
being a fucking schizo.
It's beautifully dark and like fucking.
He's
It's
really skinny
really
in
good.
Nightcrawler.
He
Real
did
skinny.
a real good job in it.
You know the movie Collateral?
I'm very familiar.
Is it kind of like that?
No.
All right, that's cool.
You know that movie Mortal Kombat?
Is it like Toy Story?
Well, Collateral was kind of darkish.
In the tone that it was filmed in L.A. and it made it look like a seedy city, then yes.
All right. That's exactly
Which
what
is
I meant.
actually that's the coolest thing about the film is it's in L.A. and it makes you feel like, which is true because a lot of movies make L.A. feel like it's like a beautiful place, but it's really a disgusting city.
Oh, yeah.
I was just there last weekend.
Yeah, dirty as
It's
fuck.
beauty next to the ugliest shit you've ever seen.
Yep. Have you ever seen Skid Row in person? Like,
Yeah,
that's something to fucking witness.
it's
really.
inspiring.
Yeah.
There's a good show right by there that I do when I go into town. It's at the Lexington, and it's a pretty small bar, but the show is really fun.
Yeah.
And like you do it Tuesday nights, and it's literally like Skid Row is half a block away, but there's a big parking lot that you have to park in, and when you do, you fucking park your car and you run to the Lexington.
Jesus.
And just go inside, and when you're done with your set, you get the fuck out of there.
So you
And
may
little
as
did
well
these
roll to
people
this
know
show.
watching a comedy show that the funniest part of the show is watching Kevin Elliott run.
Anyways, you can take off.
A dead
So,
sprint.
It's scary.
Pull up in like a zombie
what do you
apocalypse
think whenever you
bus to
see
go
a
to
Jewish
the
guy
show.
running away from something? Like, what is that? What
Banks are
kind of emotions?
closing. I don't know.
Are you Jewish?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Good for you. Great job.
yeah,
owning
definitely
America.
a son of Solomon
for
sitting
you.
right here.
Wow, so that's cool. You guys all hate Jews. This is fun. I'm glad you guys came by.
Got the brisk.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
We're doing a brisk for Turner. Or is that a Friday?
That's good. That's good.
Callbacks all day.
All day and night, guys. What else do you want to talk about before we get into bits?
I don't know. The week that was, dude. Hulk Hogan.
What's
falling
up?
apart.
You know,
What happened to
one of
Hulk
the
Hogan?
Only spots I've never
lot.
been to in America is like the Midwest and also like the Ohio area. So what's that like? Cincinnati, you say?
It's beautiful. Cincinnati is a good place to be from. Cincinnati is different than Ohio, though. We're almost like this little bubble that occurs only within ourselves.
When I think of Ohio, I think of nasty Cleveland. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cleveland's
and that's pretty
disgusting as
gnarly.
fuck.
They're on the come up, though. They're making there's good things going on in Cleveland, but Cleveland is
LeBron
like
James.
Columbus without the glitter.
Yeah.
And that's not saying a lot.
Best thing in Ohio I've ever done, never been to is Sandusky, Ohio, Cedar Point.
yeah.
God damn
It's
it.
the best, dude.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
and we grew up. So Cincinnati has one of the better
that named
roller
after Jerry
coaster
Sandusky?
parks as well, Kings Island.
Yeah.
But it like Cedar Point shits on everything, so
Yeah.
it's not really fair to compare. But I grew up right down the way from one of the better amusement parks in the nation too, so that was cool.
That's what pisses me off about Arizona is we don't have any good amusement parks.
Well, it's too damn hot in
Yeah,
the
you'd,
summertime,
like,
and all these
burn your
kids.
asshole off.
That's when the kids would be off school to go, and
Yep.
it'd literally be a health hazard to ride anything metal.
Oh yeah.
Cedar Point has what, the Millennium?
Yeah, Millennium Force
Falcon.
goes like goes up I think
Millennium
like
Force, that's right.
391 feet or
As I
something
look
like
at you
that.
so confidently, Millennium Falcon.
They got one they call the Top Thrill Dragster.
Yeah.
shoots you off.
They've
like,
got
I
all
was
these
so confident on this show,
Yeah.
and we're wrong every
just
time.
confidently saying
Oh
stupid shit.
God!
Michael Quaid, dude.
Yeah.
He was the guy from
that fucking guy.
he's the father, Day After
This is a
Tomorrow.
Total Recall.
Yeah, Total Recall.
I am waiting for
He
Chris.
was the-
Now you're up.
He was the
Say
he was
something
the
confidently wrong.
yeah, he was the brother-in-law from Vacation, Christmas Vacation.
Oh, dude,
Randy
just a heads
Quaid,
up.
you mean?
I saw Vacation, the movie.
Oh, it came out?
really fucking no. It comes out Wednesday. It's really funny, dude.
Is it
Like
really?
funny.
Yeah.
And the kid, the younger brother, Kevin. This is Kevin Griswold.
Yeah.
He is like the. You know Alan from The Hangover?
Yeah.
He's like one of the funniest characters in a movie.
Yeah.
Right? This kid is just, he's pretty great.
He fucked
dude.
with his older brother all
He's
the time,
he
right?
bullies his brother.
That's funny, yeah.
And the shit that he does and says is like stuff that we would do
I
just
feel
to
like
be
Andy
funny and a
Milonakis
dick.
should have played that role. I don't know who did.
No, dude, this kid is perfect.
Like that guy's
He
like
swears
40,
the
isn't he?
entire time and
Yeah.
just fucking picks on his brother, who's an older brother.
The Vacation. I haven't seen.
I don't know.
Dude,
It
it's
was one.
funny,
I need
man.
to see this.
Yeah, it comes out Wednesday.
Is
We-
Chevy
I
Chase
wanna
still
see
a part
that.
of these movies?
Yeah, he's in it.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's in it.
Is he not funny anymore?
Nah, he's not in it for very long. He's just like, yeah, go to walk because it's
I
Rusty.
need to take my
it's his son.
Metamucil.
But yeah, it's dude. Everybody go see it. It's fucking really funny.
Yeah, I haven't seen a movie in a little bit. I got to go see that Trainwreck too with Schumer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that's
I've
good.
that's
I
really
haven't been to the movies in a long time.
Honestly,
I
like
usually- I go to the
going
movies quite a bit.
You do?
Yeah.
But do you go by yourself?
Oh yeah.
I do that shit too. I don't think it's weird.
I'm not a fan of going to the movies. Like it's too much money to sit there with and smell other people's farts and not be able to be as stoned as I want
Yeah,
to be.
expensive.
You
ass
found
food
a
isn't
lot of
even
people are
healthy.
farting in films.
Oh yeah.
I haven't found that at
Yeah.
all.
Go down to Chandler Fashion Square.
Yeah.
Just fill that motherfucker.
Oh, they
with
have
farts.
one too. How was that?
Huh?
The Chandler Fashion Square. They have
That's
Yeah,
actually
they have
pretty
Chandler Fashion
legit.
Square. It's
Oh,
a
really?
pretty legit mall.
I think it's a little nicer than the Scottsdale one, but Scottsdale's got better like stores.
They have a Tesla store. I mean,
But the Chandler one's like just newer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just nice. Yeah, I saw what did I see recently. There's been a couple of good movies out. I can't think.
I don't know. I could spend all day right now in the summer. There's
You
so
guys
many
heard?
movies I think
You
look
guys
good.
heard of a film Ex Machina?
Yeah,
That's
Machina.
Machina.
I like the guy.
But
that,
yeah,
that
that
guy's the
was-
next big actor. Oscar
That's a
Isaac.
that was a really cool film.
It was?
I heard it was. I got to check it out.
Yep.
That dude just got cast in the Star Wars. Oscar
he really?
Isaac.
Oh,
He was
shit.
good in Inside Llewyn Davis, and he was really good in this movie called A Most Violent Year. That really he was only good in, and the rest of the movie sucked. But he's a beast.
Should we talk a little before we get into some jokes? You want to talk a little UFC?
We can.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
excited.
a
for this
big
weekend.
sports fan, man. Bill and I talk UFC together. You guys watch? You watch yours?
yeah. I know that Kevin
You
was
don't
talking
watch
last
Michael
night about how much he loved soccer.
I hate soccer, but
Soccer's
you don't.
the most retarded sport
You're a
ever.
big sports fan, Turner.
Yeah, but I'm such a big sports fan. I can't add another sport to my life right now.
Hey, I can feel you on
Just
that.
replace
Like it's just a
boxing
lot.
with it.
I don't have boxing isn't even a thing to me unless it's like a big fight.
Yeah.
After the Klitschko
And then the
brothers
UFC
took the
thing-
heavyweights, it just kind of got boring.
Heavyweights are whack. I like a good. I always like one of the big fights. I'll watch those. But
We
like,
watched Mayweather together,
sure,
and that was
it's a good bonding experience.
yeah. It was
I thought we grew as
the
people.
It's not fun to watch
the
anymore.
best
though.
thing about that day was the Clippers Spurs Game 7 was right before it, and that game was like one of the best NBA games of all time. And then it rolled into these fights, and we're like, dude, this is going to be an incredible sports night.
Yeah, definitely not.
And it wasn't. But you know what? I don't hate on Mayweather for doing that. That's
I'm
what
not
he does.
either. Those guys got paid.
But Lennox Lewis did that shit too.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I get to talk sports right now with Nancy here. I'd never get to do it. Lewis methodically beat people.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
And why not? You go. That's how you win. You
there's
don't put
something
yourself in danger to get knocked out.
Yeah,
You
there's
just
something to be
beat
said
'em.
for fighting a technical fight.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's a thing of beauty in and of its own right. But that's not why people watch fighting. You know, like people
Right.
watch fighting.
That's
to
why
see
he
a
didn't have
fight.
as big of a pool as Mike Tyson did, because Mike Tyson was more of a showman.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Tyson was just off the rails his entire life and a crazy person.
Yeah, I know, but people like to see that.
Yeah. No, I
There
completely agree.
hasn't even
He was
been
only
anybody
really
like
crazy
him.
once he won the championship.
Yeah,
he went a
but
little
still
off the
before,
cliff.
you ever hear him talk about, like, when he goes into the ring and visualizing himself
Yeah,
and,
like
as
a-
I
like
enter the
eat
ring,
him.
Well, he
I
was
become a
always
god.
an unstable human being, but he had, at least at that point before like things got out of hand for him, he had
Yeah.
good people around him that he trusted.
Yeah.
And then he just lost the
But
shit.
the-
Have you watched that documentary?
Once
called
he went with Don
Champs?
King,
Yep, Champs.
Once he went with Don
Good.
King, he just got
Dude,
fucked
beautiful.
up.
So good.
Great documentary.
I've watched 3 sports documentaries recently. They were all really good. The AI one, the Al
Yeah.
Iverson one.
Where they explain the practice interview.
Yeah, which was
Yeah.
good.
Which
That
is like,
aspect
dude,
of
everyone
was
took
good.
it way out of context.
Yeah.
And
What was that one that?
And then the
it
Kobe
was-
one was really
It was a
good.
30 for
Oh, that
30.
was
It was
good?
that football star that got
Marcus
knocked
Dupree?
out. No, got knocked the hell out by Bo Jackson. He was a white guy, and it was called the. He was like really flashy too. It was in like
The
the 80s
Boz?
and 90s. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Bosworth, Brian Bosworth. Yeah, I watched
Brian
that.
and the Boz.
When I was watching that, they talk about a movie that he was in, and I immediately stopped the documentary and put that movie on, and it was awful.
No, oh, no.
Dude, like he literally in the movie, he's like a cop or something, and he's like in a grocery store, and he like beats a bunch of bad guys, and literally he has the line, "Clean up on aisle 5," and I was like, "Yes, this is it." I'm watching this and getting high right
It's
now.
80s action, man.
Yeah, dude.
It was
He
all
coined
about
it.
just whooping people's asses that is very unrealistic, and then you say something that's way too witty for you to think of when you're exhausted from beating up 8 people.
Can't say shit anymore, man.
Yeah, I would be like,
Technically, I think he shot them with shotguns. Is how he got rid of the bad guys in that first opening scene. Just unloaded in a grocery store full of civilians.
got to capitalize on that fame.
Yeah.
No shit. You do. Dude, Josh Smith, basketball player, has made... All right, I'll ask you. Do you know who Josh Smith is? I know Turner does. Anybody else?
Nope.
No.
No? Okay. So this is just a question for you. Career earnings for Josh Smith in the NBA?
He's been in the league for probably about 10 years.
Yeah, just about, I think.
I would say he's probably made about, he's got to be, I'm going to say ballpark it at, he's had one big contract, I know. I'm going to say $48 million? $60 million?
Way higher. He's at $94 million.
Are you fucking kidding
Yeah,
me?
$94 million.
Yeah, because he got one where he was getting 15 a year for
Yeah.
a while with the Hawks there.
Yep. And then got bought out by the Pistons and signed for like 2.5 to play with the Rockets. But when you get bought out, you get paid
Yeah, you got
a
the.
big chunk of money.
Is he broke now?
With that said, so he signed a $1.5 million deal to
Veteran
play with
minimum.
the Clippers. Right.
Yeah.
Vet min, $1.5 million to play for the Clippers next season, this upcoming season. And today he comes out and says, it's going to be really hard for me and my family to live off of this. I see, you are a fucking asshole.
You could suck
That's
my dick.
gonna go broke. You're broke already, if that's your comment.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say something like that, but he was also a dude that probably just was never educated on how to have that much money.
No,
I mean, it's a
he
system
came
in
straight
the
out of
NBA.
high school.
The thing is, he was a kid that never grew up in a way where he knew how to, be able to financially be stable. And then you
money
throw him a
versus
bunch
new
of money.
money.
And it's easy to say that, but dude, if I had no people around me to be able to tell me how to spend $94 million, I don't know what I'd be doing.
Well, and
I'd
so
have a
here's the
shitload
thing,
of friends
too.
that would also have $1 million in their pockets.
When
as
I
well.
got back from Afghanistan, I had like 30 grand saved up, and I blew it in like a month, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh, yeah.
kidding. The first
How
deployment,
old were you?
I was 22. Yeah, I mean, I was dude. I spent $6,000 of that was spent on this giant 6-bedroom condo to just party out for the weekend,
Oh, shit.
and like some of it was because of the security deposit. The carpet got lit on fire. I don't need to go
Just
into
didn't
that,
get it
but
back.
yeah, like I just didn't get the security deposit.
We could
back.
go into that.
Yeah, we could.
I could probably write something about it later, but I'm not going to do that bit today.
The Pistons, when they released him, are stretching the payment that they owe him over 5 years.
Oh, so he's
And
getting
that just happened last
thing
year.
is,
So
He's called
he'll
Bender
be
and
fine.
Bender.
Hopefully.
till his career's over, then he'll be broke.
Yeah, right.
Well, he could.
But also, look, we got to remember, too, okay, yeah, he's made $94 million over his career, but he hasn't. That's the career, that's what he signed for.
And also,
the checks
90
that get sent to him
yeah,
half.
Yeah, right. He made 48.
Yeah,
About probably what
you're
I
right.
said. It was like 48 million is what he's seen, which is still a ludicrous amount of money. And I'm not talking about
And
the
it's
Atlanta
still less
Record.
than that because he's paying some sort of management. But then at the same time, he does have endorsement deals that probably give him.
That,
$1-2
guys like
million a
that,
year.
you've been a national celebrity, like sports celebrity for over about a decade, right? Like, the opportunity for these
And
guys.
he's never had a consistent jumper.
Like,
Yeah,
these
he has
guys.
no jumper, but he still shoots threes.
These guys still have the opportunity for speaking engagement, shit like that. Like, and
could
they
write
get
a book.
paid.
I wouldn't read a Josh Smith book.
He could. He could.
There's some asshole out there that would.
There is a lot of people that would.
All right, you guys want to start this bit thing? I don't know.
Jeez.
We were like, oh, we're.
Oh, Chris. Yeah, you could do your bit, and then we'll continue our conversation.
Yeah. You have a bit?
Yeah. No.
No, let's do it. Let's break into Chris's bit. Tear this
All right.
thing apart.
All right, so the bit that I wanted to talk about, I guess, because we're breaking this whole thing apart, is a new one, actually. It's a story that I've been afraid to tell for a while, but it's going 3 for 3, nailing it pretty much every time I've said it. So, hat trick for all you soccer fans out there. It's a war story, but I'm just gonna go into it. So I'll ask you guys because this is sort of a crowd. You guys, does anybody here have like a fear of flying?
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So I do too, but it came from my experience in the Marine Corps, and what it was I was in a MV-22 Osprey helicopter, and my job wasn't like pilot or anything. That wasn't my like MOS. I was just transport. And I get on this bird with my lieutenant, and the whole thing is filled up, and we take off. Now, when these things always have the back hatch open, so this giant door in the back is just open the whole flight, right? So you're just looking at like everything. Now the seats, this particular flight, everybody was full, like the whole thing was full, and I'm on it's like my lieutenant, and then I'm on the very end seat, like right here. So there's me, and then certain death right here, just nothingness, just looking at the wonders of space right here.
And you don't have like a parachute attached to it or anything?
No, of course not. I'm just transport. And also, like when you're in a flight, like you get the brief about the seatbelt. Usually it's annoying, but they didn't even give us that. They're just like, all right, you fucking in there, all right, good, let's go. My seat didn't even have a seatbelt, and I'm on the edge with the hatch open. So I just like look, and I'm like, all right, this is
you're
gonna be fun.
the expendable
So
guy.
I put like my rifle strap over the seat to try to do something about it. And we're flying, and I'm like, and the whole time you're just looking like, oh, this is not good. And you're looking, and I was looking out there, and I see a little pop of smoke, and then a missile starts shooting, like flying at us, and I'm just like, oh my god. Now, an Osprey, if you guys don't know, it's one of those helicopters with the 2 side rotors.
Okay.
And what it does is when you're like taking off, it'll stay up vertical. But whenever they're doing evasive maneuvers, what they do, because if it's a heat-seeking missile, they shoot off pin flares, and then the missile usually goes for that. But what they do is literally, when they do evasive maneuvers, they do a tail dive and then shoot out that way, like just straight vertical. And when they do the tail dive, what it is they're making they're churning the rotors from the vertical to the horizontal so they can take off faster. So you're free falling because the engines aren't working for like 4 fucking seconds. So you're just free falling, and the hatch is open, and I don't have a seatbelt. And I'm just like horrified. But it was like you're on a flight when turbulence starts happening. Nobody freaks out because we're just like, all right, like if I don't freak out, it'll be okay. You kind of like start looking at the crew, kind of like you do like in an airline when turbulence starts happening. You start looking at the crew chief and everything. You're like, all right, if they're not freaking out, I'm good. So finally, we evade it, and we land. And my lieutenant, who was sitting next to me the whole time, right when we land, looks at me and goes, "Ha, almost lost you there." And then I immediately just vomited all over the fucking back of this helicopter, just everywhere, dude. And the pilot comes back out there because everybody's like still upset, like kind of like adrenaline, like is running through everybody. And the pilot comes back there and he looks at me, he looks at the vomit, and he goes and he shuffles around in the back of the helicopter, and he comes back with a squeegee rod. Doesn't say anything, just gives it to me. And like we just had that moment where I looked at him and knew, and then so like literally, I'm all decked out in combat gear, grenades on my flat jacket, a rifle, and like all my shit, and a squeegee rod sitting there cleaning the back of a helicopter.
Because you vomited on his Osprey.
Yeah, I vomited on his bird, and you can't do that.
Damn.
So yeah, that was for some reason that's been hitting you lately at the clubs.
Where'd you do that at?
The first time was at SUS last Wednesday, or no, actually Lawn Gnome. I did that at Lawn Gnome, and then I went to SUS for the open mic, did that for the opening host spot, and then I did it last night at Chop and Walk, and that was the one that got everybody's attention. So
That's good. Yeah, it's not. It's to me, it's not funny. It's a really interesting
Yeah,
story.
it's
It's interesting. Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say.
That's some crazy shit.
That is some.
It is so like I'm literally intrigued. Like I was so into it.
yeah.
I'm picturing it. I'm literally with
Yeah,
you.
I'm
That's
like,
why I'm
man,
not making a
that's super
sound.
intense.
Yeah. I'm just like, dude, keep going. Tell me more
Yeah.
because that to me, and I think most people, that stuff is so foreign to them that when you say it, it's like, oh, this is awesome. We're getting behind the scenes look.
Yeah.
And so when you tell it, if you're gonna do it as a joke, like
Where
you have to
is
hit
it? Where have you
punches
been
in
getting
between.
laughs?
Yeah, I know. It's. I mean, it's been. I don't know why, but it's been getting.
When does it get a laugh?
Usually when I talk about the seat and how I'm just on the edge, and then certain death. That's for some reason where.
But
everybody
that's
has it.
you're right,
and then
because that's a spot where you can put a joke
Yeah.
in there, because you have to hit beats in between to break up what we're going through when you're telling it.
Absolutely.
Of like, holy shit,
And then,
dude.
of
like,
course, when my lieutenant looks at me and says, and it actually was a warrant officer, but when I say warrant officer, people think that it's like a probation officer or something. But I just say lieutenant to make it easier for people to understand, like, this is somebody above me. But that part gets laughs, and then when I vomit, it usually gets laughs. But yeah, I mean, like, everybody says, like, with comedy, you should be relatable, but I don't think I have that many relatable stories because I've had a weird life. And sometimes I think it's about actually just pulling people into you.
There's a fuck ton
It's not
of
relatable.
veterans.
It's
in the
about
world.
it's about making your story relatable, and what you just did was make it relatable because you took us there with you.
Yeah.
Therefore, we can all relate because we feel like I don't think anybody feels like you're in the helicopter with you, but we can.
And I try to do it.
I've
with
seen
the
Black Hawk
turbulence
Down.
thing.
Like I get it.
That's a little more extreme.
Well,
than what I
that
went through.
kind of
kidding.
it humanizes you too, because it takes you out of that emotional state of being like Mr. Badass soldier and showing like a true emotional time for you where you're just like, holy shit,
this is
like this
happening.
could be the end.
Yeah, and you'll get the nice thing is with a story like that, you will get immediate reaction from people wanting to root for you because you've served our country. So you've got the attention. Half of the battle is getting people drawn in. So you've got that, and the nice thing that you can do from that is just manipulate their attention. Because I think that the story is captivating enough where people are listening.
Yeah.
And if people are actively listening, then you can
Go into the
punch it
next
up
bit.
and not go in the next bit, but you've got their attention that whole time. Where can you punch it up if there is humor in there? Maybe say something funny about who's the lieutenant. Is there a funny characterization?
make fun of him a little bit.
Characterization
That
of the lieutenant.
I hated that guy.
That's a good
Well,
call.
that doesn't
Turner.
matter.
That guy was a
You can't-
girl.
Well, and so you could do that. It doesn't matter. You can make that lieutenant whatever you want to make that lieutenant. It doesn't have to be true.
You can even break off from that story for a little bit and just say, well, and let me tell you about this fucking lieutenant, piece of shit, and you dog on him. But then at the end, he still makes you a bitch
You
by
know
having
what
to
this guy
clean up
did?
your own throw up.
Right.
And
Or it
his,
was
you know what I
this
mean?
was
He
like a
wasn't the
female
one-
version of the Full Metal Jacket.
This guy, I'm not kidding. Before we go on our deployment, we all wanted to have like a going away party, and this dude lived like 3 hours north of like base. I don't know why he lived so far away, but whatever. And he kept like wanting us to come to his house to do like a going away party, and all of us on the team were just like, no, dude, we don't want to like get drunk 3
We can
hours
do that
from
here.
house.
He wanted to Liberace.
Yeah, like, why can't we
he
just
wanted
go
to
to Buffalo
Liberace
Wild
you
Wings?
guys.
He has like kids and
Why
shit.
can't
Like,
we go to the party spot, Buffalo Wild Wings,
Yeah, like,
before
I mean,
we
that's
set
better than
out?
going 3 hours away, dude. Like, fuck.
I don't know,
No,
man.
and then like he literally, when we all were like, "Sir, we really don't want to do that," and he goes, "Well, fine. If you aren't going to come into my house, then nobody's going to have a party." Literally said that, and it was like, what?
It was probably, he lives
still
in like a
did.
super nice house. But the reason is
Probably.
because it's far as shit. It costs dirt
Yeah,
cheap.
that's-
He's like, hey, come on out and
probably
hang out
has
at
a
my
He
nice
has like
house.
Don't
3
tell
kids, and like
policy.
nobody wants to be drunk around like little kids, dude. Like,
Tell
I
me
don't.
about
You
it.
don't know that. Or tell me about it.
Yeah, I think, but man,
Mike
you've only
Turner,
told it
new
3
Subway
times on
rep.
stage, so there's still so much room to keep
New
working on it
Subway
because
rep.
it's
Yeah, I know,
so intriguing.
It definitely gets people's attention, and people do laugh at the end of it with the vomit part, and then because I try to make what I try to do with some of my jokes about the military is I try to dehumanize the military and not make it so like badassy.
No,
Like,
you shouldn't
You mean
dehumanize it. You
humanize,
should
not
humanize it.
dehumanize.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Because it is dehumanized.
One other thing too, when you tell that bit is nobody needs to ask or even think if this is a real story and you. It's 100% real and you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when other people tell something that happened in their life, you add different things, you embellish. Yours, it feels like nothing's embellished. I mean, this is it. This is what I went through. I'm telling you this because not many people have. And here I'm going to tell you, I just think you need to add beats in between.
Yeah, you're right.
And,
I mean,
Or on the
punch it.
vomit thing, and he gives you a squeegee, you could be like, hey, he brings back a squeegee, and I'm sitting there hoping he brings a diaper. There you go. Something like
that's pretty good, actually.
You got something for the other end,
It
too?
might actually
Right, it's like,
do that.
Sir, do you have a diaper?
Yeah.
Or a
Sir, do
change,
you have any wet
or no,
ones?
or you could say like a change of
Yeah,
underwear or something.
change of clothes.
And I'm sitting here hoping he brings a clean pair of underwear.
I think diaper's funnier.
I'm like,
Could
this
be.
how am I going to wear the squeegee, dude? I need a new pair of clothes.
Yeah.
That's
I know. Yeah, I know this
funny.
can clean up the vomit, but how am I going to clean up what happened to my shorts?
Yeah.
I don't know.
like it.
You could do that. You could have a funny description about the lieutenant to really actually paint the picture better. You could also go into certain death as a funny way to describe what could be going on to the right of you, but you could also even there's different ways to describe. Alive. I don't know what to do, but a certain death is funny also because that is something that everybody could relate to. Because that's scary as shit.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're scared of heights or not. I actually am pretty comfortable with heights. I've done skydiving and shit. But I would not be cool sitting on the fucking edge of an osprey. Like, what is going on?
wearing your rifle thing as a belt. Like,
Right.
what's this, the strap? I don't know.
Right.
Going to Cedar Point and that motherfucking magnet fails. And you're just sitting there and you can move the thing up and down.
Oh, dude, that happened to me once. Anyways, sorry. I was frightened.
Oh, dude, that happened to me,
Bro. Well, dude, that's first of all, it's cool, and thank you for sharing that. Just the story itself is cool as shit to me. I'm way into the military stuff because I wouldn't ever do it.
Yeah.
Once I got to the age where that couldn't get drafted anymore, I threw myself a little
You
party.
can't get drafted anymore?
Nah, I'm too old.
What age is that cut
I think what was the cutoff?
Is it
Yeah,
33?
yeah. When I hit that,
That's
dude.
awesome.
The assumption that
I
we'll
want to get older now.
It's
Like,
hilarious.
like now I'm really stoked to be 33.
Right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, you're right. No, there probably won't ever be a draft again, but
I don't
just
know.
in case.
That will never
Shit
be.
going on.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a condo in Vancouver picked out. I was ready to go if it happened.
yeah.
No, you don't want me fighting a war, dude. We lost.
Yeah.
If I'm the guy they're sending out there.
I'm not-
I'm a shield for the dude behind me.
I'm not
That's
gonna
it.
do that.
I'm no good at
My
it.
old man was so lucky.
I've never been in a fist
Vietnam.
fight. You're going to put me in war?
Yeah, my old man was lucky in Vietnam. He had high blood pressure his whole life. Didn't have to go.
Oh, yeah?
Like, yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
My dad was in the soft years between like the most action he potentially got was the Cuban Missile Crisis, but nothing happened. But that was an intense 13 days.
Oh
if you
fuck
guys
yeah!
remember.
Damn well could have,
They
man.
made a film about it.
But Gillespie was in war.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine who was like staff sergeant in Marine Corps. He had a video of them blowing up 2 suicide bombers that were like coming into their barracks. So like they had taken over like one of Saddam's palaces, and they're in like Ramadi or something. And these guys are driving up. They drive up one car, and it gets like into the concertina wire, blows up, and then they send up another guy like 2 minutes later, and there's super heavy suppression fire from the other side. And my buddy
guy was a
popped up
spotter.
above the glass and took out the secondary truck, and he got a Bronze Star for that. And there's a picture of him sitting next to this bulletproof glass, and there's like just fucking marks all over it, and he's smiling with a thumbs up, and his teeth are black from the soot of his gun.
Shit.
Yeah, and he had this whole thing on video from a drone. Like, it was crazy.
That is crazy.
What kind of gun was it?
Good war, man.
His
Star Wars.
saw operation.
Yeah.
Saws are I hated. So I never use them in combat, but when we had to train on them, I hated them because you can't just do a 3-round burst because they jam because they're 5.56. But,
Yep, he was
Totally.
a saw operator in the infantry. Shout out to Brian Nagel.
I'm from the Midwest, so that's what we do. You either turn 18 and get the fuck out of the Midwest, or you stick around long enough to get recruited and die in the Middle East.
Yep.
That's pretty much.
Damn.
So I had a couple of buddies die over there.
Oh yeah.
But, hell of a model American. And then the ones that came back were good and fucked up.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy, man.
We went
good war.
to me and this guy tried to go to a Hawthorne
Fucking retarded
Heights
is what it is.
concert. I hate to admit that, but
Hawthorne Heights?
yeah, we tried to go to their concert, and
You can go.
we're
I mean, if you
driving
go,
from
you
Camp
gotta go.
Pendleton to L.A. So San Diego to L.A. And this is at the time when Ambien CR was first released, and if you took one of them and like powered through it, it would make you trip your balls off. So we're trying to go to this concert, tripping on Ambien. We're doing like probably 20 miles an hour on the 405, like up the coast, and missed the concert. Like, it took us 4 hours to drive from San Diego to L.A.
Shit.
Because we were so fucked up. Don't know how we didn't get pulled over.
Hawthorne Heights, man.
Yep.
I went to Camp Pendleton. That's where I was.
Yep.
That's where I was stationed.
You guys hung out together, no? Did you not?
No.
I bet you did.
You stayed in the barracks?
No, I didn't stay there.
Okay.
No.
Barracks is a fun time.
No.
Horrible.
Yeah.
All right, well, Gillespie, get the fuck out of here.
All right, bye.
You
Go
got
hit
shit
your
to
comedy
do.
shit.
Yep.
I'll probably see you down there.
Yeah,
I gotta serve tonight.
we'll see you in a little
That's
bit.
what happens. You spend 6 years in the Marine Corps, and then you get out and become a waitress. I'm gonna leave that here because I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to put it in somebody's office trash bin.
Yeah, I've talked about my buddy Mike, who I don't have a lot of friends that were in the military, but my buddy Mike was in the Air Force, and his job in the Air Force is like the easiest thing in the world. He just drives generals and lieutenants around on base. That's it. But for whatever reason, he got sent over to Afghanistan, Iraq 3 times.
Jesus.
And all 3 times, he was put in the Army. They're like, you're just part of the military. So, what is everything?
He's looking for the restroom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they put him in the Army. And the first time he was over there, he was like the gunner on a Black Hawk.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and he told me about that shit. Like, the bullets are so fucking big.
Yeah, huge.
That if you don't hit the guy.
No, you just hit the fucking thing.
And he dies.
And he dies because it explodes.
Yeah. And then the next 2 times he went, he was the gunner on the front Humvee of caravans. Yes, and his stories, man, he doesn't have
those guys are the bullet catchers of the military.
Yeah, that was my boy who died. They got hit by an IED, and he was the only one to end up dying.
Yeah,
because he was in the gunner positions, and he had just gotten promoted to it and shit. Yeah, just bad luck.
Yeah, I mean,
that was my homie, dude. He was over there for 5 weeks.
Wow. Shit.
He's over there for 5 weeks.
Dude, the thing with Mikey, he's out now. Yeah. He's actually totally cool. He talks about it flowingly, and it doesn't bother him.
Yeah,
because he talks about it.
I feel like that's the thing is if you talk about it and you get it off your chest, like it's a lot better for you.
He's literally, I have a million questions. He's like, dude, ask away. I don't have a problem with it. Just ask. I'm totally cool with telling you.
Well, it's healthy to talk about.
It is. The last time he was going over there, he was supposed to be out. And I think a couple weeks before, they're like, I mean, we still own you, man. You're going over for 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
Or 3, I think it was 3 months. Either way, when he goes over there, it's not just to fucking hang out. It's a big deal.
If they want to throw you in, they can re-enlist you and make you go back.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Didn't they make a movie about that? Like, I know what you're talking about. I forget what it is.
I don't know.
What the term is. Yeah.
They did.
Stop.
Damn
it. Stop loss.
Is it stop loss?
I think so.
Yeah, that's like, but
because I asked him if that was real, and he was like, kind of.
Yeah.
Stop loss? I'm going to look it up.
It was an issue for a little bit, and I think they've nipped it in the bud, hopefully.
Yeah. But he ended up, God damn it, I spelled it all wrong. He ended up, the last time he was going, he got married. Stop loss. He was dating this girl, and they were like, we just need to we'll get married.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's going to happen. You need the benefits just in case.
So, like, frequent with people in the military.
They're still married. They have a child now, the whole night. It's awesome.
Oh, that's nice.
And they're the fucking nicest people in the world.
That's good.
It's so cool because he's like this big fucking... He's a UFC kind of guy, too. Like, he trains and shit, but he's like, looks like he should fight in it.
Yeah.
And he's done all this fucking crazy stuff.
Speaking of UFC,
he's the nicest
real quick,
guy.
have you seen Ronda Rousey, like, getting ready for this fight right now?
No, I saw her in Fast and Furious 7.
She is the most yoked you've ever fucking seen her right now.
Yeah?
Like, she looks scary. Gonna fucking
would
eat
you,
that chick.
Well,
would you fuck her?
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah.
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 Okay.
I'd let her armbar my dick.
Right, I would too, but then I think about, like, she would fuck me, first of all.
Oh, yeah, I'm cool with that.
And then it'd be a lot going on. Like, I always think, like, oh, I'd fuck Serena Williams. And then you think about the logistics of it, and you're like, this might not be the best experience. I mean, it'll be intense.
It'll be intense.
I would write home about it, for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
But just the whole time, I would be like, who's fucking who here? What is going on? What would you like me to do?
So like, what's the?
Is she dating?
What's the manliest you'll go as far as like chicks with muscles like that? Like China? Like did you hit China?
I've fucked a couple chicks where it was like, this is intense.
You got a little bit of baby dick on them.
That have a little bit of a baby dick on them. Yeah, that were more man than they wanted to admit.
Got that enlarged clitoris.
No, when you're just like, this girl's out here putting it down for the city.
Yep. That's why I used to hook up.
It's fun.
I used to hook up with female wrestlers on my college wrestling team.
Yeah, so that seems
and
intense.
It was it was amazing.
It was
like, those are the type of gals that'll fuck you back. You know?
Right. No, and actually, you know what? That's actually that's a better thing because the ones that are just
it's not fun.
Yeah.
Serena Williams' boyfriend
Ronda Rousey probably
is Ronda Rousey. Yeah. I'm looking it up. Patrick Moratoglu, and he's just regular looking white guy, like skinny white dude.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, she probably likes the domination. Oh hell yeah, he's tiny.
So yeah. Anyways, Serena Williams is my type. Now she's not, but I do think she's good looking. She's got curves in the right spots, but she is also very muscular.
Yeah,
and that's why she's one of the best tennis players of all time.
Dude, I saw a picture of this. I don't know who this. She had to be some Russian chick tennis player. Just shredded. She looked like Vanderlei Silva with a dress on.
What?
Vanderlei Silva. Do I know who that is?
No, you're not a UFC
Yeah,
guy.
he's like one of the ugliest dudes in the UFC.
Oh,
but
geez.
super yoked. He looks like if Chris Cyborg Santos and Vanderlei had a baby, that would be the world's ugliest
What did
person.
Misha Tate say she's going to fight Cyborg?
Misha Tate said she wants to fight Cyborg, which
Because
is
Rousey won't do it?
Well, yeah, Rousey's just
So
like,
confused.
I'll beat up Floyd. I'll take on any
I
any
saw
dude,
Misha
and then
Tate
she
on
won't
the
fight
show.
Cyborg.
Wasn't she just on the show recently that I would have been watching?
Maybe.
Why did I see Misha Tate?
She's good looking as a person.
She's great looking, yeah.
As a person?
I'm really thinking though,
Cyborg's
like,
not. I mean,
no.
Cyborg's legitimately she's a woman fighter. Like, she's...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a woman?
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe.
Named Cyborg?
Yeah, she
that's
was.
tough.
She got popped for being on roids a couple times, and when she did, like, she's feminized more now, and she looks more like a woman. But at the time, she was just super duper like juicy, like.
I think you're using juicy wrong.
Yeah, no, that's the proper
juiced
way to.
out, like
That's the
juicy,
proper way to use
like
juicy.
roided out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think of Biggie's version.
We're super juicy.
Yeah. I like a girl that's kind of juicy. That J.U. Ice, dude? Come on.
Yeah.
Do you have a bit? What is the...
Yeah, Billy's got a bit he has to do.
Do we have... Yeah, we don't have to.
It was just a weird, timing thing because Chris had to take off.
I like that he can tell that those stories. Nobody else in town is telling war stories or anything like that.
Dude.
Which is cool. It is just one of those things where I hope he took that well, where it's like, that's not that funny.
Right.
That's really real, though.
Yeah, that was a super interesting story.
It's
like,
wild,
That was a badass
you
story.
want to hear the fucking
when
story.
he went up in the
Yeah.
thing, dude, I was like, are you falling out of that?
like when he describes the tail dive.
How did he also, I'm wondering, was he grabbing onto one of his boys? I wanted to ask.
These are great questions for Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Well,
that he's
unfortunately, he's
gone.
not here. Nah, you know what? That story, it's always said, okay, they might not be laughing, but they're also not talking, so they're listening.
Right. No, for sure.
That's
He's got
exactly-
control. That's what I was
yes.
trying to say. Like, you have total control of the audience.
And that definitely gets him on his side. And I like what you said with it, like throw some more like self-deprecation in there almost,
Right.
and use that to punch it up.
Yeah.
The story is great. Just hit punches in between.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To get the laugh, so it's comedy and it's not just a one-man show where you're talking about war stories.
Yep.
But either way, I mean, the whole time he said it, I'm just sitting there on
Oh, dude,
pins
I
and
was
needles,
locked in.
like,
I was wondering when he started. I was like, "Ooh, this could be really weird or bad," and then I was like, "Oh, this is fucking."
Yeah.
it's
I
in depth,
was
it's
like,
cool,
damn.
like, yeah.
That as a comic, are you guys watching Last Comic Standing? And I first of all, it just started.
Yeah.
Like two nights
I
ago.
haven't been watching it.
Did you watch last season?
No.
So what do you think, Kevin? As far as watching it as a comedian that's trying to be somebody,
Well,
are we trying to be anyone? I don't know what we're trying to do.
watching it, when you actually watch the show that they put on TV, you just have to watch it for face value.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't.
You
dive too
can't
much
be
into it.
like, they're not a good comic, dude. That was a horrible bit.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't do that. It's edited beyond belief.
They're all good comics.
They're all great comics.
Yeah.
By the way, anybody that's listening, the people that you're seeing now in the top 100, it still took rounds and rounds to get to that.
Yeah.
Right.
But nobody sees that shit. They just think, oh, hey, here's just 100 people that submitted. It's like, first of all, I don't think any of them submitted. Either their management did or they were chosen by the network to come in, and they went through a couple rounds, and then they get picked.
Well, dude, like the fact that like Miss Pat and Ian Bagg are involved. Like,
Yeah.
Ian Bagg, I've seen headline, and I was.
You worked with Ian, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I hosted that weekend, and he was like so good. It was like inspiring how just beastly that dude was. And I'm like, he should be the last comic standing.
Yeah.
And Miss Pat is
Miss
one of
Pat's
the best
incredible.
touring comics in
You know
in the
what,
nation
dude?
right now.
God damn it! I wish
She
Chris
could
was
win.
here, because that's who Chris should listen to.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Miss
if anybody
Pat-
knows how to like spin a crazy story into humor,
Right.
it's
Yes.
Miss fucking Pat.
Yeah.
If nobody knows who Ms. Pat is, she has the craziest life story.
Oh, yeah.
That you'll ever hear.
Like
Got my titty
her
shot
joke
off.
the other night, it was like she got shot twice and hit by a tow truck, a
Yeah,
dump truck, or
yeah,
something.
dump truck.
And she's like, and nobody asks about the me getting
shots.
shot twice, but everybody's like, how the fuck you get hit by a
Yeah,
dump truck?
with a dump truck.
With a dump
I
truck.
was getting shot at, and I jumped over the fence.
Yeah.
Like, you probably looking at me because she's fat.
Yeah.
You like, she didn't jump over the fence. You right. I just ran straight through it. And, but her life is crazy, and she legitimately tells the stories, her real life stories. But when you listen to her just tell the stories off of stage, she tells them as they are,
Yeah.
and they're not funny. I mean, they're super interesting. But she gets on stage and she adds all these beats to it, and she's coming to Phoenix.
Yeah, she's here
How's the comedy in
26th.
August?
Oh really?
Yeah.
August
House of Comedy?
26th through
Yes.
28th, I want to say.
I just got booked up there for a couple of shows.
Check
Who are you working with?
I'm
Who
going
you
to work
working
with
with?
Jerry Rocha. Who
Oh, I love Jerry,
I
yeah.
know. I saw his name and I was like, can I work with him? He was open. And then I want to say Jermaine Fowler.
Yeah. Oh, dude, are
Do
you
you know
serious?
Jermaine Fowler?
Yeah.
I'm going to host for him. I don't know.
You're gonna have a great time.
But
man.
it was open and it was in August, and I was like, "Ooh, I should get up there.
Yeah.
I'll be in town."
Fowler's dope, dude.
Is he good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited
And a
then.
cool fucking guy.
So I'll be working those 2 weekends in House of Comedy. Yeah,
Very nice.
He's on
Jerry
Friends of the
Rocha.
People.
Jerry Rocha's good people.
Yeah, he is.
I
really
actually
good
know
people.
him. I'm sure Fowler would be cool.
Dude,
too.
Fowler's dope. He's on Friends of the People with Lil Rel.
Oh, okay. Lil Rel's popping off.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
He's doing pretty well.
Cool guy too.
He was a stand-up guy still.
Yeah.
Dude, to follow.
Dude,
as
remind me
far
to tell
as,
Chris if he doesn't listen to this, Ms. Pat is who he needs to fucking
Yeah.
listen
Yeah.
to. Because I think that'll help huge with that bit and other stuff that he does.
Just everything. He's got to tap into it. He's got a wealth of things to talk about. It's just how to do it.
Yeah. And
It's not easy.
True, give it
It's
to
really
him.
not
That's
easy
just-
to
I
do
feel
that.
like telling storytelling on stage to be funny is one of the hardest forms of comedy.
Well, you have to be able to tell a story really well enough to be able to control an audience.
But then it's and then
also you
to
have to-
elicit laughter with it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's tough.
Tell a bit.
Tell a bit.
Tell me a joke, clown.
Yeah, fucking asshole. I made
funny.
a kid do
Be
that
fucking
last
funny.
night.
Be funny. First of all, I got a new job recently, and people are finding out that I'm a comic,
Yeah.
and that's
Oh, yeah.
I've gotten it. Oh yeah, tell me a joke.
God, it's the worst.
Is that not the worst
It's
thing?
the worst
Yeah.
How do you guys react?
I just don't. I'm like, that's not the way it works.
Okay.
I asked,
all right.
I asked
How
them
do
what
you
I
always
asked them
say?
what they do, and when they tell me what they do, I'm like, "You're a massage therapist? Well, I got something fucking going on with my back."
Yeah,
right now.
sure,
Like,
sure,
I'll
yeah,
tell you
They'll
what
work
joke-
on you though. They will.
work on
It's not
Yeah, because
service.
I hate just being a dick because I'm the new guy at work, but I'm like, just
it's
pretty
not-
much, I'm just like, no.
Because it's not going to be funny no matter what.
Or I'll just
you
do it-
don't tell knock jokes. It's
Right.
it's
you
not-
guys know my shit. Like, my shit isn't like a quick little.
Let me tell you about
dagger.
Tony Thompson.
I don't think anybody
like,
tells
no,
fucking
dude.
like. There's not
Some
many
people
dudes
do,
that
like-
do one-liners
Right,
anymore.
yeah, you're right.
You a beer and a shot guy? You can't. You just
shot and a beer
can't.
guy?
Yeah, you can't. fucking
Kirsten
do that.
Alberts was, but she left town. She had some.
Yeah, she had some
one-liners.
great one-liners.
And then Hollerman.
One-liners are hard,
Hollerman
dude.
has.
Yeah,
What's his name? Holloman. Stephen
Hollerman?
Hollerman.
Holland?
He's out in L.A.
None of us know.
No, he's just got him for days. Actually,
Yeah.
That's so hard, man.
It is.
I don't write like that. I don't know.
No, fuck
I could never
no.
remember it all, honestly. Like
I
you
know
give me-
that's what I think about.
Like,
I think about
it.
that.
You think about someone on stage, 15 minutes doing nothing but one-liners,
Little zingers,
and you're
yeah.
just like, it
It's
takes
like 40
30 seconds
jokes.
to
Jonathan
say that.
Gregory does it,
Yeah,
too.
and it's just amazing. I'm just like, how the
It is
fuck do you
remarkable,
remember all
actually.
those?
Stephen Wright, that type of shit.
A 15-minute set. Do we tell them four or five bits?
I'm telling 4 or 5 jokes.
Yeah.
Right. One-liners have to put 30 to 40
And I
jokes
like to think
together.
that the 15 builds so well that it's all almost one train of thought.
Exactly.
That's the
Well, that's the
obviously
best
that's
way
the
to
idea.
do it, yeah.
I guess it's easier said than done. But what's your joke, clown?
Joke. So I went camping recently, and camping is
to Bill Laskowski,
Camping
the Angry
is-
Hobbit.
one of the widest things you can do besides going ghost hunting or watching The Big Bang Theory. And while camping, I thought I'd be a real badass at it, so I decided to show my friends the skills I learned as a Boy Scout, and it wasn't one of those scouts that got touched or anything, so don't feel bad for me. And I decided to chop some wood. And it turns out, like, earning merit badges are a lot like learning algebra in high school. Like the great brain cell death of 2005, the year I graduated high school, just knocked all that knowledge out of my head. So I chopped my hand with an axe, and we got to figure out what to do. And it's either, get this fucking guy to a doctor or, tell him to man up. Well, doctors are for pussies, and I have healthcare.gov insurance, so there's no way my HMO would be found up fucking boonies. So I decided to be a man about that shit and wrap it up. And after I wrap my hand up, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting paranoid because, like most white people when they go camping, I'm on mushrooms at the time. Yeah. So I'm like wafting, like chumming the air for bears, and like man-eating bears, and not like the dick man-eating bears, but like real like raw bears. And I had to figure out, like, what do I do as I'm sitting here chumming the air with the blood of my innocence to protect myself in the event of a bear attack. So I decided
Peaking on mushrooms,
mind you. So I was a college wrestler, and I decided that once the bear comes up to deliver his death blow, or dim mak, depending on how many kung fu movies you've watched, I'll take a penetration step, duck under the death blow, and grab him straight by the usik. And that's a bear dick, if you don't know. This is an educational joke.
I said it confidently enough.
Definitely an usik.
Swear to
Grab
God,
him by the bear dick.
Biloxi, dude. I swear it is.
And then I start jerking him off. Now, there's two scenarios that can happen from here. One is I just get him going, and he starts air humping, and then I can make my escape. If he's a black bear, I got to just fucking channel my inner Kenyan and get the fuck out of there. If he's a brown bear, I can climb a tree. Those are a little heavier, just so you know. Or I can fucking finish him off. Then I have a pet bear. He could be like a clingy ex-girlfriend, hang out with me. And then when he's unsuspecting, unawares, I brain him in the back of the head with a Smith & Wesson 500, and I have a brand new rug.
That's the joke.
Yep.
That's exciting. So, oh, man. You took him to the woods.
Oh, man.
One thing oh, man. So you're giving a handy to a bear.
Yep.
That's the solution.
That was my...
That's what you come
That
up
was
with
my
on
honest to
mushrooms?
goodness, like, how am I going to... And that was a real thought.
Was
like,
there a bear that you actually saw, or were you tripping
No,
on mushrooms?
I was tripping on mushrooms, and my friends had...
Wasn't even
like,
camping, man.
We had... no, we were camping. We were in Payson at some fucking campground. And they had said that...
So there's no bears.
Yeah, well, they had said that there was bear sightings
Sure,
in the
and
area.
people lied.
So, they were like, put your food away, don't fuck around, like...
Yeah.
We were in like North Phoenix.
I would say one thing,
about to do House
I
of
would
Comedy.
say, and I always think about this when you say things like most white people that go camping, I'm on mushrooms. Not to say that that's not funny, but it also tells the audience, in my opinion, what you're saying is all white people do mushrooms when they go camping. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a lot of white people in the audience that are probably like, I don't do mushrooms when I go
Good
camping.
point.
So you rule people out. Whereas what you could do is include people, but also tell everybody, I don't know how you guys go camping, but I'm on mushrooms.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden everybody's with you, as opposed to the thought process of, oh, he's lost me, I don't do mushrooms.
Yeah.
And he's kind of an asshole for assuming I do.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. I got that.
It's a mentality I heard. Keenan Ivory Wayne said it really well on a documentary called Sunset.
Sunset
What
Strip?
was it called? I think that was, was that what it was? The comedy one. It was about all the comedy that happened.
Oh, okay. Then that's not Sunset Strip then.
Yeah, it's not. But it's on Netflix. Either way, it's really good. But he said...
Was it the improv
It was a
one?
really... That's what it was. Yeah, it was the
Okay.
improv one. And Keenan Ivory Wayne's made a great point when he said he talked about things... He used to talk about things that his mother did. And he found that when he would say, like, how mothers are like this.
Yeah.
What you do is in your mind as an audience member, you're saying, if they say something your mother doesn't do, then you're out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're like, well, my mom doesn't do that. This guy's an asshole. Whereas if you say, my mother does this, there's X amount of people in the audience that are super with you. And they're like, my mom does that shit. And so you're gaining trust. But if your mom doesn't do that, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, your mom does that. That's interesting.
Yes, 100%.
So you don't.
The way you worded it is perfect. I don't know how you can be. I don't know how your mother did it. Mine did this, and the people that it didn't happen to are like, oh, dude, I'm on board. I want to hear somebody else's life.
Like mushrooms is like weed is something everybody does.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you said, I don't know, but I don't know how white people go camping, they smoke weed. Yeah, that would be something that would be pretty universal. And if you don't, guess who doesn't trust you? I don't trust you.
Yeah. And once you lose that as a comic, when you just make assumptions up there that everybody's on board, it's like, all right, dude. And when you do it twice in a row, you're fucked.
Blanket statements, you always really have to overthink them in a way where because you can lose people
honestly, we've discussed this before with other bits of mine.
Yeah, I think you do that a lot.
Yeah, I do.
I think you assume that people are on your same wavelength, and they're not a lot. And to be able to, what you want to do is never assume that you're like everybody else because, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, it's actually a beautiful thing. You're not like anybody else. And so bring them into your world more as opposed to assuming that everydy's already in your world.
Yeah, kind of like you kind of alienate. You alienate with that
because you're about to talk about beating a bear off.
Yeah.
So
definitely need them on your
not
side.
only have you alienated people who don't do mushrooms, but all of a sudden they're like, Jesus, that's
he's
why
up
I
here
don't
talking
do
about interspecies erotica and shit.
Look at this advocate, man. I don't know if I'm going to jump on board.
What kind of fucking this guy watching
sneaking the JO in on bears, dude? I would very confidently breeze past the fact that you know so much about black and brown bears because that's funny. Like. And I know in my mind, if it's a black bear, I can do this. If it's a brown bear, I can climb a tree because they're heavier set. Yeah. And like breeze through it so confidently where you're like fucking, like you know it so well that it's like a discovery channel.
Like fucking Ranger
and almost
Rick.
assume that's something that you should assume everybody knows because it's funny because nobody's like, that's why it'd be funny because nobody's like on that same page.
And I would take that. I think for the easy joke that people would do is a racist thing. The black bear does this, brown bear does this.
Kenya,
but
I do mention.
And I don't like that.
You don't like the channel my inner
I think
Kenyan?
it's unnecessary.
And that's part of it too. What I'm saying is, if you keep it legitimate, so the difference between a black bear and a brown bear, nothing racist.
Right.
You know, one climbs a tree, the other doesn't.
Channel your inner Hussein Bolt.
You could do that because you're referencing a fast person.
You're just referencing the fastest man in the world.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, that's where you're saying Kenya because they run.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I think in my mind, I'm thinking, it's because he's a black bear.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You're saying
so that's the thing. Where's Hussein from? He's not
Jamaica.
Jamaica, yes.
Jamaica Queens.
America wishes.
Yeah. It's if you got to take him down that road.
I just think the less racist you can make it. So you're not even saying a black bear, African American, brown bear, Mexican. Whatever you're going to do, don't even go that route. Keep it legitimate Discovery Channel. This is the difference between these two because it's too easy to say, a brown bear doesn't climb trees and probably has a bunch of fucking cubs. You don't want to do any of that shit. You want to keep it legitimately as real.
Keep it almost factual. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And it is factual, isn't it?
Yeah.
You seem very confident with
those
facts.
Totally. Like black bears.
I thought brown bears climb trees.
Not as well as black bears.
Okay, because they do.
Yeah, they're a bigger animal, so they have
black bears are smaller.
They're smaller, yes.
But they're also more. Oh no, brown bears are more.
Brown bears are more vicious.
Yeah.
Brown bears are the more vicious ones.
Grizzly bears.
That's a brown bear.
Are brown bears.
Yeah,
that's right.
Polar bears.
Polar bears
are vicious because they have to
swim.
They are like they say when you go hunting for polar bears, like the bear's already hunting you.
Shit,
yeah.
Koala bears.
Because they're starving.
Drop bears.
A polar bear.
You ever heard of a drop bear?
You know how hard it is to get the food that a polar bear needs to get?
Yeah,
it's under the ice and shit, dude.
They sit there and there's they'll find like these little holes in the ice and they'll wait and there's the fuck are those white whales called? Beluga whales?
Beluga whale,
yeah. So the belugas will make a hole in the ice where they can come up and breathe, and there'll be just like a shit ton of polar bears sitting around this hole in the ice, and you'll watch them, and they have video of it, and they'll just sit there and try to cut them until they bleed out and float up. Like they're super fucking smart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that smart, or is it like this is all we've got?
It's
we've
survival.
been everywhere. Yeah.
It's survival. And in that way, it is smart. because they're
Alright.
winning. One's dead, and the other one is eating the dead one
Yep.
to survive.
Do y'all watch Naked and Afraid?
Every once in a while, honestly. Honestly.
Say, man, y'all watch Naked and Afraid?
We
do
were
not,
talking
actually.
guilty pleasures the other day, me and a couple other guys, like guilty pleasure TV shows. And honest to goodness, one of mine is Alaskan Bush People.
My dad loves that show.
Because it's like they just take
Oh, my
it's like
God.
they took a family of inbreds out of a trailer park in Anchorage, and they were like, okay, we're going to give you a development deal worth X amount of dollars, but here's the catch. You have to go subsistence live in the Alaskan wilderness with cameras on you, and we're going to videotape your inbred fucking family talking with its weird-ass speech impediment and just doing stupid shit. And that's my guilty pleasure watching. Like, some people watch The Bachelorette, some people watch Jersey Housewives. I watch Alaskan Bush
Dude,
People.
my dad fucking watches it all the time.
I don't know if I have a guilty pleasure show.
You do.
I know
You
I
have
do.
to.
Do you have a movie that when you're flipping through channels and you see a movie on TV that you stop and watch it every time?
I don't think there's anything out of the norm. I'm trying to think. No. I don't know. I like, you know what I like? I guess the guilty pleasure would be like those history channels about like how America was built and shit.
It's
like
not
the
a
ones
guilty
about
pleasure. That's
Carnegie.
just being smarter.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I don't know.
You're a documentary guy.
I like
Yeah, yeah.
documentaries quite a bit. I like facts. And that obviously is assuming that all documentaries are true, which is not the case.
Definitely.
But I do like.
My
I like
documentary
real
game
stories. I like all that stuff.
My documentary game has gone down as of late. Like,
I've watched a lot recently.
Yeah.
There's one on B.B. King right now that's really good.
I've heard that was really good.
It's very good.
I still haven't seen The Culture High, the movie after the. You guys ever watch The Union? Mm-hmm.
No.
The
I
Union
don't know
was
if I've seen Culture High.
It's his newest one.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, Adam Scorgie.
I'll check that out.
Yeah,
I might have watched. I watched so many. I watched. There's one called Supermensch that's really good about the
think I've
story
seen
of
that,
Gordon Shep.
Oh,
Or
yes.
Shep Gordon.
Shep Gordon.
It's very cool. It's about how this manager popped off and ended up being the reason Alice Cooper was as big as he was, among other people. He was
lot
banging
of other
Sharon
people
Stone in her prime, like Basic Instinct Sharon Stone, in there. Yeah. Dude was amazing. That was a really good one. Shit. I've watched a bunch, dude. I watch a lot of documentaries. The Kurt Cobain one I thought was really shitty. Everybody was super excited about it, and then it was just a bad documentary
yeah.
because Courtney Love was involved. Anytime
Well,
you're
she's
getting
just a-
you're getting an authentic with quotes around it story about Kurt Cobain, but Courtney Love is involved, and Dave Grohl
Is not
said he
involved.
didn't want to be involved at all.
Yeah,
then you're not getting
Yeah.
you're not getting the story that I want.
No.
And Courtney Love's story about Kurt Cobain changes every time you talk to her.
That's
Yeah.
true.
She's a horrible person.
I do. You know what though? When I don't know, I've heard some interviews where I'm listening to her and it seems authentic, but you still have
It
no
does.
idea if
That's
it is.
why she's
The
crazy.
stolen guitars, all this other shit that has to do with their child.
First of all, I'm sure there was a lot of crazy stuff. They were doing H.
Yeah.
And you're watching it, and you're like, why didn't anybody just be like,
Shout out to Michael Palladino. He's got a new bit. He just went to Seattle, just saw Kurt Cobain's former house, and he's got a new bit out on it. Great bit.
is it good?
It's a good bit.
I haven't seen him since is he back?
He's back,
Yeah.
yeah.
He just got back.
Yep. You would have seen him if you'd have been able to come to the show that you were booked on, but had to be a big wig, go out to California last
LA.
weekend.
That's right. I apologize. That was your show. I apologize. LA was cool, dude. We got
Was it good?
Fucked up. Yeah.
Nice.
I got faded, dude. I started drinking old fashions at like 3 on
Holy
Saturday.
shit.
Did you
And
do
we did
shows
not
out there?
stop doing old fashions. Yeah, Sunday I got up in the belly room.
Nice.
Your name
Marino
was
show?
mentioned, Brian Moses. I was talking to.
Oh, what did
Yeah.
Moses say?
And we were just bullshitting. I told him it was from Phoenix. He's like, "Oh yeah, no Kevin."
Boom Shakalaka
Yeah, yeah.
tried to touch you in an inappropriate way.
Was that his name? Oh no, Boom Shakalaka. I saw him. No,
No.
I stayed away.
God, he scares the shit.
He was on a mic that I was. Yeah, he was on that mic that I
Yeah.
jumped on. I saw Ty Rivera, Kirsten Alberts, who are
Yeah.
our local favorites. Obviously, Ty's out there now, but Phoenix dude. And then, yeah, it was cool, dude. Ran into like Joe DeRosa, who I'd worked with recently, and so chopped it up with him. Owen Benjamin was out there, and Steve Byrne was just like chilling.
The store's
always
always,
interesting.
yeah, it's always like a carnival.
It's always like, this is awesome. Chris
Yeah.
Porter, who I just
Dude, he's-
done time with, like,
I had a fun
3-4
Chris
months
Porter
ago,
story.
and he was cool as fuck,
Dude.
as always.
Well, that show, the when he was here at Stand Up Scottsdale, me and another comic were standing out back of Stand Up Scottsdale with him, burning a joint. Just
Was
kind
that
of, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's ceremonially burning the sacred plant before you go do stand up. And this motherfucker, Chris Porter, can smoke weed
Dude.
like nobody.
Yeah, because he's been doing it for fucking
ever
I
seen.
smoked a
25
blunt.
years.
I think was it a blunt?
Yeah.
Weren't you involved? It was
Yeah.
me, you, and Ollie,
Yeah.
I think, and then and
The who's who of
Chris
smoking weed.
and Chris and do we and so Chris has to go do an hour.
Yep.
And I'm uncomfortably high as an audience member.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I remember watching it like, how is
We
he,
smoked
what's
this.
he doing,
We
dude?
smoked this blunt. Chris is going in. He's going in and out of the club. Like he's coming back and forth to check where Howard is on his time. And so it's probably like 15 minutes left before his set, and he takes a couple hits, goes in, checks, comes back out, takes another couple hits, goes back in, and it gets down to the end of the blunt, and everybody's cashed out on it. Everybody's done. And he fucking grabs that son of a bitch and just, like, every little bit counts type deal, takes it down to its last bit, goes on stage for an hour and a half.
Just slays.
And smashes.
He's a great comic.
Great comment.
End of his set.
is so
End of his set goes, hey, guys, I just want to let you know, only about 10 minutes of that was written. And it was just, everything.
Yeah,
Everything else was just like crowd work, and it was
seeing
beautiful.
Where it goes.
God, it was good.
He's one of those comics. I always say there's some comics that come to town, and it's really good to watch everybody because somebody does something you can maybe either learn from or something. But then there's those comics that come by, and you're like, dude, that not only makes me feel horrible about everything I've done to this point, but also it inspires me to be like really inspires me to like.
We've had
work
this.
harder, and I remember really early into doing it. It was like 5 or 6 months in. Pete Holmes was at Stand Up Scottsdale, and that changed my whole perspective on
seeing
what
guys
I was
like
even trying to do. Ian Bagg to a degree, Chris Porter,
Ian's more crowd work.
Jim
though.
Norton.
and then so I saw Ian Bagg.
So take a piece
and
of what
see,
he's doing.
You see how, and I'm not all crowd work, but you guys have seen my comedy enough where like I can do some off the cuff shit.
Yeah.
You
really
can do
well.
great off the cuff stuff, but I wouldn't put you as a crowd work
Right.
guy.
If I need to do off the cuff stuff, it's beautiful sometimes. But yeah, you're right. His is all crowd work.
Yeah.
But it's also calculated crowd work. I think that's what I
Well,
learned from him.
yeah.
He's got back pocket crowd work.
That's exactly
that you
what it is.
think, and that's how that's what I learned from Ian Bagg was he's got things that you think he just thought of off the top of his head, but he's got sitting in his back pocket all day.
And that's what I tell people that listen to this show in particular, just behind the scenes stuff, is some crowd work is completely organic. Comes off that way. But as a comic, no matter what, if they're doing crowd work or not, we're manipulating the conversation. We're manipulating everything we do to the audience. And so when somebody's straight crowd work, they have a lot of things in their back pocket. They know what you're going to say.
Right.
And if you don't say it, they're going to get to where they want you to say something, and they can hit the punch.
Yep.
And then it keeps going. But it's so hard. I mean, to get that good at it when you're an Ian Bagg
It's
or
a
a Rick
muscle.
Ingram,
You gotta
is
work it
fucking
out.
Yeah.
awesome.
But no,
Ingram, I saw.
Dude, he's great. Is he
Dude,
not one of the
starts
most
fucking-
fun people
and he
to
starts
watch?
fucking with my boy. He's fucking with the crowd, and then this dude said he's a hockey fan, a Blackhawks fan, and then this drunk dude that I just met that night that was my buddy's buddy. He's saying go Blackhawks. He's got a Kings hat on, and Rick Ingram just goes off on him, dude. And it's so funny, dude. He is
Ingram's
every time
great.
I see him in LA, I'm like, dude, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Is a beast.
And nobody knows who he is.
I know.
He doesn't go on the road. He just does his stuff in LA,
What's
the
he
store.
doing now? What's he trying
just
to do?
Goes
I
to the
don't
store.
get it.
I don't either. He wants to be bigger, but he goes on auditions and stuff and books commercials
Maybe he's
here and
just
there
trying
to
to get
live.
that break, yeah.
But I mean, when you see him,
Very
it's so
funny,
fun.
dude. Very, very funny.
Yeah, works the crowd like nobody's business, dude. It's insane.
no, there's
You guys have somewhere to be? If we got somewhere to
I'm
be,
gonna
I ain't
go
got
out
somewhere to be.
7:30. Yeah, I was trying to do that at Stand Up Scottsdale.
all right, then let's wrap.
all right. Kevin's got, 5 beers down there?
I have no idea.
Goodness
I can't even
gracious
see
almighty.
anymore.
Jesus.
We're all good.
They look like 10 to me.
I think I got a 6-pack. Is that what I drank?
6-pack Shakur.
Sorry, that was stupid.
That was stupid.
Just wanted to give that courtesy laugh. Make them feel better.
Dude,
Hey, I'm gonna do it, so you gotta bump 'em up.
every old white teacher I've ever had, anytime they say Tupac Shakur, That's what they say.
6-pack Shakur.
Yeah.
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 Cool, man. You could teach then.
I could teach.
Be a teacher.
I could be a hacky teacher.
Definitely could be.
You'd probably be better.
You'd probably
as a
be better
comic.
than.
I got them all.
You'd be better, way better than I would say better than Miguel Brambila. Definitely a better teacher.
Miguel, is he a teacher?
He's a teacher.
Dude, I always thought I'd be an amazing teacher. I'd be
Every
a hilarious
comic
teacher, man.
does.
I'd be a hilarious
Every comic
teacher.
does.
Yeah.
Oh, you shitting me? People have to sit there and listen to me talk all day? Yeah, I would crush it in that classroom every day. I'd be the most
And I would
popular.
also, but I also care enough about the facts where I'd teach well too.
What I
Turner
I'd be
would definitely be one of the
I'm
guys.
English
What do you
all
think?
the way.
I would be history for sure.
You would be his. I'm English.
I would honestly love
PE.
to be a science teacher. Science.
no,
Science
that
would
makes
be cool.
sense.
I would do science would be cool. I feel like there's boring aspects of every.
Oh yeah.
You know what we
There'd be
should do?
I feel like there's some super boring ones about science.
Definitely.
But the cool shit in science is
Oh,
probably
it's really,
cooler
really cool.
than any of the others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Whereas
horrible
like
at
history,
science
like I gotta talk about like the French and Indian War for more than like 3 days, and it's
That
like,
sucks.
Dude, but how fun could you make it? Oh, it'd be the
I
best.
mean, dude, once it got really going and we started, kind of turning this country around, Civil War, let's dive into it. I'd have some fun.
See, me, dude, I would teach like senior English, and
yeah.
for their final paper, I'd be like, you got to write a script on your favorite show.
Oh, that'd
Just
be cool.
punch up a spec script, dude. That'd be awesome.
That'd be really cool.
People are like, I don't want to do this at all. I don't want to
Yeah,
be a
but
script
English
writer.
is a lot of
yeah,
like
fuck
reading
you.
and things.
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't make them read because I don't.
You
want
wouldn't
to
make
do
them
that either,
read?
but I
That's a
would
good
do
English
it.
teacher.
Yeah.
You'd be a great English teacher.
Dude, my English
Summer's
teacher. My
off.
English teacher.
Why
you
is
kidding
everybody
me?
failing your class?
Senior
Well,
year.
no reading.
Why? No, that's why they're passing the class.
Mr. E, no reading.
I had an English teacher, and his favorite thing to do was give us
Everyone will
fucking.
request me.
Yeah.
He would give us word finds. Like that was like 50% of our grade was doing these shitty word finds.
Was he a pothead?
He was an idiot.
Like a word
He was
search.
an idiot.
Like no, like you know how they have like a bunch of fucking letters on a page in a square.
Yeah,
And you
word
gotta-
search.
Yeah, word search. Yeah, same thing.
Word find.
Word find.
Oh,
word
is that what you guys call it in North
That's
Dakota?
what we called it. That's what we called it in the Midwest.
Okay,
Or
that's why
in the
your
north,
school
in the
system
upper
sucks.
west. I don't know. What do you want me to call that? Turner
upper
gets
plains.
upset. Turner gets upset when I
upper
refer to North Dakota as the Midwest. He gets fucking.
You're like the
pissed.
Great Plains. Because it's not. It's like so almost. No, I don't even know what it is. It's the Dakotas.
It's the Dakotas.
It's a whole different.
I
thing.
don't even know why the fuck there's two states.
How fun would it be if there was a Dakota war?
How
going
lazy
on
do you
right
have
now?
to be?
There
It'd
should
be fun
be.
to watch.
There should be.
A Dakota war.
Yeah, just North versus South, and we could watch it on TV.
That'd be cool. They should televise that.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Pay per view and make a lot of money.
Carlin always had good ideas about what to do with those middle states.
Did he?
Yeah, he said any rapist goes to you put a wall around all the states in the middle: Nebraska, Oklahoma, what's above Nebraska, Kansas,
Dakota, Kansas.
You put a wall around all of them. One of them is for child molesters. One of them is for child molesters and rapists. One of them is for murderers, and the other one's just for the people that we've ruled clinically insane. and then like once a month, you open this one door and let them all some of them mix and
Co-mingle.
match and shit, and then you're gonna kill a couple of them every month, and it's all on HBO and pay per view and shit. It was really actually a smart fucking idea. Like if you think about it.
That kind of sounds like Australia to me.
Yeah, right.
Like that's how they got going over
That's
there.
how they got, that's how they began a country.
You guys, all right, stop. We're going to stop.
This
Get the
has been
fuck out of here.
appropriately inappropriate.
It has been appropriately inappropriate.
Yes, it is.
Bill, thanks for coming. Chris,
Thanks,
thank you
man.
for coming. I know you took off, but check out
man.
Ms. Pat when you listen back to this. Mike, thank you for coming in and co-hosting, dude.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
for
want it
sure.
to be anybody else, so thank
I'm
you.
a pretty Nancy, aren't I?
I mean, she's pregnant now, so you're way prettier.
Is she? Ooh.
Oh,
Your boobs aren't as good though.
Yeah, those things are
They're
probably
getting there,
breathing.
dude.
Yeah.
Dude, don't stop.
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been working out, dude.
No, I know. Working out them, whatever,
Them
man.
titties.
Guys, hope y'all have a great week. Thanks for listening. And check
If you can ever listen to the Brothers
Oh,
Turner on
listen to the
Tuesday,
Brothers
they're on
Turner.
Thursdays also, yeah.
Brothers Turner comes out on Thursdays. Listen to that. It's awesome. It's Michael and his brother, and it's a great podcast. It
I
really
appreciate it.
is.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's very fun.
I
This
love
last
it.
episode was great. Episode 58 was fantastic.
You're at 58 already?
Jesus Christ.
You're catching up to us, and you put out one a week like we do.
Yeah.
You're fine. All right. I love
Where
it.
are you at?
This is 102.
Yeah, maybe I started about a half year after you. Or a year
Damn,
after.
it feels like
No days
all
off.
right. No days off. Guys, thanks for listening. Have a good week, Bill.
Later.
This has been another great presentation by the 4-Eyed Radio Network. You can find more information at 4eyedradio.com.